Marsh Valley High School graduating class of 2015. I sincerely hope you are not expecting an earth-shattering and life-changing speech from me today. I'm just that nerdy kid who was obsessed with her grades for the past 4 years so she could put a word that no one else would have on their graduation announcements. In case you're wondering, that word is valedictorian. When I found out I would have to give a speech at graduation, however, I thought about letting myself go a little lax on schoolwork, but at that thought, I started to have an allergic reaction and wild heart palpitations, so I decided, better not. Most of you graduates sitting behind me have gone to school with each other since kindergarten. And the time came, you went through the awkward and uncomfortable stages of middle school together, and now you have unitedly braved the 4 crazy and dramatic years of life in which we have tried to figure out who we are. Marsh Valley is a small place, and because of that, you have the opportunity to get to know everyone sitting in the risers. Together, you have gone through the ups and downs of adolescence, and over time, you have become a family. I did not get to grow up with you guys because I transferred to Marsh Valley as a sophomore. Moving out here was one of the hardest things I've gone through in my 18 years. Sorry, it's just a mess. I hadn't even heard of the animal before my family moved here. It was kind of weird, I was kind of scared, didn't know what was going on. And with this move, there were some things I struggled with. One of those things was leaving a place I had lived all my life, where all my best friends lived in a half-mile less radius from me, to a place where I literally have to drive to another town to get to a friend's house. I can barely even see one neighbor from my house. Talk about being in the middle of nowhere. Like you guys, I have friends I've known since kindergarten. And after 10 years of knowing them, leaving them for a bunch of strangers was not my idea of fun. I'm a very shy person. Even telling the employee at Subway what I want in my sandwich makes me uncomfortable and nervous. So going into that first day sophomore year, naturally I was terrified. Since you have all known each other for years, I thought everyone would already have their best friends and be in their own little groups, and that there would be no place for me. I was prepared to be miserable for the next 3 years. However, I could not have been more wrong about how I thought my time here was going to be. Since Marsh Valley is so small, when there's a new student, everyone notices, and it's like, oh, fresh meat! Needless to say, I received a lot of attention those first couple weeks, especially from boys, which I can't say that I minded. In all seriousness, though, I am so incredibly grateful for how kind everyone was, and for how welcome and included they made me feel. As the years have passed, and as I've gotten to know you all, I feel like I've been inducted into the family, and that is something I'm proud to be a part of. As a freshman, graduating seems so far away, almost like it would never happen. But when you have to write thousands of papers, who can blame you when you have thought about every phrase like Kronk from the Emperor's New Groove so eloquently portrays? The poison for Cusco, the poison chosen especially to kill Cusco. And after all that thought, just suddenly learned Cusco's poison. Seniors, we are old. Most of us 18-year-olds, most of us are 18, and are considered to be adults, whatever that means. Those of you who are still 17, you're graduating from high school, apparently that's also a qualification to be an adult, sorry. Some have said that high school is the best years of our lives. Well, I sure hope not. We've got so much of our lives left to live, so why spend it looking back on just a fraction of it, when we can make new goals and dreams to hope for and accomplish? A friend of mine recently asked some of his seniors, who are you going to be when you graduate? People in the real world aren't going to know you as the boy who went to state with the basketball team, the class clown, or even the girl who always had her nose in the book. Now is our time to decide who we are and who we want to become. Being a responsible adult is going to be hard work, and we are going to fail many times. But as we are making mistakes, we can learn from them and better ourselves. No one is perfect, and I'm sure most adults would tell us that they don't even know how to adult. But as Harry Potter said, working hard is important, but there is something that matters even more: believing in yourself. Marsh Valley High School graduating class of 2015. We've done our waiting, 12 years of it. So let's put on our big boy and girl pull-ups, and like Bilbo Baggins, it's time for us to gather our courage and go on an adventure.
I was asked to give a speech about how much really changed my life. As you can probably hear from my accent, I am not from here. And I'm very serious about it, so don't judge me. Anyways, let me tell you a little bit about my background. I was born in Mexico, October 12, 1996. At the age of 4, my mom had left me to follow the American dream. In 2003, my mom married an amazing person. Back in the day, I wasn't too happy about it, but today I'm happy to call her that. On June 23rd, 2013, I first entered this country. And yes, I do have a green card. By June 28th, I first entered America. I first entered Eagles territory. Now, when I first came to this high school, I have no knowledge whatsoever about English, besides the basics, like, hi, how are you? Hi, how are you again? My first day of high school was the most important day of all the days of high school I ever had, because I had the first impression that changed my life forever. June 28, 2013, it was a cold day on the winter. Well, it was cold for me, I wasn't used to the weather. And my mom had brought me against my own will to this high school. When we first arrived, we sat out in the parking lot for 15 to 20 minutes, and we debated about why should I go to high school or not. I told my mom that I didn't want to be here. I told her to please let me go back to Mexico. She said to at least try for 1 year, and if after that I didn't like it, she will let me go back to Mexico. So I told her, okay, but please let me start the next following year. So at least learn some English, get better, but I have no choice. So before I even stepped into the high school, I had promised myself that I was only going to do 1 year, then I was going back to Mexico. But that didn't happen. It's been over 2 years and I'm still here. Let me tell you why. And no, it's not because of the girls. Well, maybe a little bit, but not much. It was more because all the people that are here by me, they changed my life. So my mom dragged me to the office and made me wait for the principal, Mr. Welch, the counselor, Mr. Robinson, and Mr. Morris, who's now gone from this high school, to talk about how all of this was going to get down. So after talking to them, I was admitted to be part of this amazing, numero uno, most wonderful high school in the whole area. So I got handed in the schedule with all the classes I needed to take: freshman English, history, sophomore English, Spanish, PE, algebra, chemistry. And I also was assigned to this girl that helped me get through the first days of high school, Bernice Hill. For those of you who don't know who she is, she's sitting right behind me. First row, second chair, left to right. Now, she's a quiet girl, she doesn't say much, but she's smart and a really good person. I don't know if I ever told you this, Bernice, but thank you. So Bernice's job was to show me the school and help me present myself to my teachers, also to teach me some English. So after the whole tour around the school, she brought me to my second hour class. It was sophomore English. Now, when I first entered the classroom, I was pretty nervous because I never been surrounded by that many white people before. I'm just kidding. I was really nervous because Bernice was going to let me alone and I didn't know what to do, so I had to figure out everything else by myself. But it wasn't that bad. There is where I met one of the most of my classmates that are here today. Also, where I met a teacher I respect, love, and appreciate the most, Mr. Black. So I came to his class and he received me with empathy and understanding. He was teaching his class the book, Nothing But the Truth. I don't remember nothing because I didn't know what they were saying. He gave me the book to read or to pretend, and also inspired to sit. There, on the first row, from left to right, second desk, I met a person that will later become a good friend of mine. Dusty Ray. And she also helped me change the promise I made myself. For those of you who don't know who she is sitting right there. So when I first sat down, she instantly tried to talk to me. She was asking questions that I didn't know what they were, or I didn't know how to answer either. But she tried. So finally, this is how bad my English was. I said, "Me no comprende, sorry." After I said that, Dusty looked at me and said, "Oh." Then she tried to use the Spanish she had, until Mr. Black came and said, "Dusty, something, 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 class." It wasn't something, it was more like blah, 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 class. So I figured out he said something like, "Dusty, stop interrupting the class," or something like that. Anyways, class went on, but there was no day which didn't have nothing to say. What it was, I don't know, but I like to think that it was something nice. Thank you, Dusty, Mr. Black. I will never forget what you guys did. So the first day was a success. People was nice to me. Teachers tried to help me any way they could. Until the second day, life is not always happy. That day marked my heart the most, mostly because I'm a very sensitive guy. I will never forget about that day. I still haven't. It was my 6-hour period, chemistry with Mr. Mausman, when I started feeling really thirsty. And I didn't know what to do because I didn't know how to ask for permission to leave the classroom or to get some water either. And there was no one that could help me. So finally, I stood up and walked towards Mr. Mausman and said, "Water?" And he looked like, "What are you trying to say?" So once again I said, "Water?" And I received the same look back. And suddenly, this kid walked past behind me. And he started talking to Mr. Mossman. I believe he understood me because he said, "Mr. Mossman, something, 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 water." So this kid that I just met the day before was going to take me to the water fountain. But instead he took me a couple steps more and brought me to the vending machines. He bought me a Mountain Dew. Later on I learned his name, Stetson Iverson, who might be seated somewhere in the crowd. Now it is true that it's just a pub and it's no big deal. But how many of you though know the passage from the Bible that says, "If anyone forces you to go 1 mile, go with them 2." In this case, I didn't force him to walk the first mile with me, and I also didn't expect him to walk the second one either. I just needed some water. But he came into my help and decided to walk 2 miles and $1.25 for me. Why? I don't know. But thanks for the pub, dude. Let me know that. Since that moment, my perspective of only staying 1 year changed. I wanted to be here in Chinese life, learn new things, join sports, and even maybe date someone. That didn't happen. Right there, I knew that Marsh Valley was full, and this is still full of people that is willing to help me and have my back. Now, I did have a couple people make fun of me and the way I talked. Jay Parker. Mrs. Berlin. And if he's here, Joel McQuibby. But Marsh Valley had become my family. Stitch from the movie Lilo and Stitch once said, "This is my family. I found it on my own. It's little and broken, but it's just good." Yeah, it's just good. Today is the most important day of all. We are saying goodbye to our friends, teachers, in classrooms where most of our days were spent. And I'm glad to say that I had the opportunity to spend it with you guys. It wasn't much, but I have nice experiences. My name is Fernando, and I'm proud to say that I contributed to this high school, made friends, and graduated from here. Today, I would like to encourage all of you to never to give up or to never to quit. Because somewhere out there, it's someone that is willing to give you a hand like you guys did. Thank you, friends, teachers, coaches, for all your support.